I love a clean slate, a fresh start of a new year, but I also know for many years setting goals came with some big time expectations that I was going to change overnight. My tendencies to overeat or skip workouts would magically disappear when the clock struck midnight. Yeah, that's not how that goes. You might have found yourself in the same boat in years past. You aren't alone. According to Business Insider, 80% of New Year's resolutions are broken by mid-January. So how do you beat the odds and set goals you actually stick to? Well, first, the most important step is to actually reflect back. Take time to look at the highs and the lows and lessons learned from the previous year. This can tell you a lot about your habits for achieving goals. I actually have a whole blog post you can check out, 3 important questions to ask before the new year. But in this video, we're talking about how to mentally clear the slate with 5 unconventional ways I'm prepping for the new year. Now, while planning is super important, I have an entire program about it, I think it's also important to physically and mentally clear the slate. While there might not be anything magical about January 1, there is something magical about decluttering, pruning back, and focusing your energy on the few most important things. So there's 5 ways that I do this. First, I unfollow Instagram accounts. Okay, so this one is going to be unpopular in the back, but I actually do this a pretty major pruning to my list every single year. Right now, I sit with about 150 people that I follow, and maybe 30 of them are active. You might be surprised to hear that some of my closest business friends I don't even follow. And there are many reasons why you don't need to follow someone or need to unfollow them, but for me, this is just about if they're in the same industry or if comparisons creeping in, seasons of life, or just feed overwhelm, to be honest. We have the power to filter what we let in. So don't be shy here, prune away. Again, this typically has nothing to do with the person I'm unfollowing. I'm just simply trying to clean that slate and really focus on the people I want to see in my feed every single day. And what's cool about this is I get to actually check in on my friends and cheer them on, and they know that I love them and support them. The second thing that I do is clear all the photos off my phone and file them. So each year for Christmas, I make a memory book for Kyle. This has always been such a pain because thousands of pictures on our phones and so little time, leaving me a lot of New Year's scurrying to get this done or delivering his book mid-May. Organizing pictures is a pain in the booty, but I have mad respect for all photographers out there who are culling images all the time, but it's such a good clean slate feeling. I download all the pictures off my phone, off Kyle's phone, and off my computer, and I actually file them. And what's great about this is while I'm doing that, I delete any duplicates, I pick my favorites, and I also just keep the ones I actually will use in the picture book. So I actually take the time to do this. I know that it's hard and takes about 2 hours for me to get all this off, and yes, I actually fully delete them off my phone and off my computer. So what's great about it though is I file mine in folders on an external hard drive by year and put them in personal images or business images, and then I pick my favorites from each of those. Just a little note on that. This year, I'm actually working to move all of our images over to a cloud drive because we did have a hard drive crash, which was terrible with all of our images on it. The third thing that I do is clear off my notes app on my phone. Do you use your notes app? I use mine all the time. So anytime I'm out and an idea comes to me, it's always the most random time. I'm never by my computer. So I started keeping notes as content ideas, email subject line, gift ideas for Christmas, anything that I think of, my grocery list, just random thoughts I put on my notes app. This helps me when I have writer's block on Instagram captions or email newsletters, or when I need to remind my team to do something, but it's like 10 p.m. at night and we don't email that late because boundaries. But like all good things, without some kind of system, things can get cluttered and unusable. I found myself with 367 notes, and #overwhelm was back. So I added this task to my end of year ritual. So I sort through those notes, and I know it sounds tedious, and it is, but I actually file them. So I'll move things over to our business Google Drive or my personal Google Drive, or if it's something my team needs to know about, it's in Asana as well, where we have workflows. Everything else gets deleted. So all of those 15 grocery lists that I no longer need, or Christmas presents that I checked off, all of that gets deleted, and I have a clean slate to start. The fourth thing is probably my favorite. You guys aren't going to be surprised, but this is actually updating our net worth statement. So I totally cringed writing this as an unusual or unconventional practice because I think it's the most important personal financial document that you can have. So I talk all about this in my personal finance class, Blueprint at Home, but according to CNN, only about 30% of households have a budget for their household. So I'm assuming a lot less have a net worth statement. A net worth statement is simply the difference in what you own, so assets, minus what you owe, liabilities. So in my personal finance course, Blueprint at Home, I teach all about net worth statements, but you can Google them and just see how they're laid out. There's a lot of different ways that you can find it, but I truly believe this is the most important personal financial document and the true indicator of wealth. So if you've never done this, I encourage you to start. I keep mine in a Google spreadsheet so that Kyle and I can keep track of it every single year, and I just love to watch it change over time. And of course, like, just so you know, don't be discouraged if the first time you do your net worth statement is actually negative. This happens a lot. Your goal each year is to make it more positive. Last but not least is email subscription purge. Starting the week before Thanksgiving, I'm in an all-out find Christmas deals mode and sign up for all the email lists. By January, that leaves me waking up to 40 plus marketing emails every single morning. That just isn't my jam. So I add this to my clean slate practice and unsubscribe from all those email lists again. I keep my subscriber list down to about 10 or less, the ones I'm actually opening and I'm actually using. If this is the first time you're doing this, you might have a lot of subscriptions. So I've heard good things about unroll.me to sift through this a bit faster. I've never used it myself, but I've heard great things. So those are the 5 unconventional ways that I clean my slate each year, but here's some other ideas that you might like as well. Clean out the junk drawer. We all have one. Clean out the refrigerator. Although I'm a pretty religious clean out the refrigerator person, this year I definitely need to add clean out the freezer. Get a haircut. Love that. If you're a busy entrepreneur, you understand why you need that on a list. Dump expired medications, replace old makeup, throw out socks that have holes. Mental clutter leads to decreased productivity. So mark a day on your calendar and clean your slate for the new year. Trust me, it feels so great. And as always, if you found this video helpful, will you let us know? Hit like below and leave us a comment. I would love to hear one way you are cleaning your slate for the new year.